Top Russian diplomat has warned there is a real danger of a third world war breaking out after a day of apparent Ukrainian attacks on Russian soil. Russia's Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, says that there is a threat that the conflict could turn nuclear. He also says that NATO is fighting a proxy war with Russia by supplying heavy weapons to Ukraine with the goal of wearing down the Russian army. I'll start with you, shall we, David? I mean, so much to unpick on this. There's been a lot of kind of criticism of that description in the first place. James Heapy, the minister we've just been talking about, the news headlines, actually, he disputes this. He's saying an escalation is not on the cusp. I start thinking about peace. Are we anywhere even close to reaching peace? Has that now gone to the long grass? Your thoughts?
I think the answer is absolutely not. There's no chance. You're dealing with peace. You're dealing with two absolutely different visions of the same piece of territory. In many ways, it's very much like what goes on in Palestine. You've now got two radically different views of what is right in that territory. You've got the view of Russia, in fact, Tsar Putin, Tsar Vladimir, thinks that it's part of a greater Russia. The Ukrainians are inventing a nation. You know, we're witnessing something completely extraordinary there. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a great film. This is a new version. It's the birth of a nation. So there's an absolute conflict over a notion of right. Mm-hmm. We, of course, in the West have waded into it. I am astonished in some ways that Lavrov has left it as long as he has for saying what he has. We have been from the very beginning. And I think it's also very important that we in Britain have been particularly active. The alliance against Russia is really the alliance of the old British Empire, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the oldest bit of the British Empire, the United States. Europe has been a very reluctant partner, save for the former communist states like Poland and the Baltic states. So we've been playing a very prominent role. It's a very risky role. And we should honestly be aware of the risks.
And when you say we, by the way, what are you talking about? The UK? Are you talking about NATO? The West generally? Who's we?
I've tried to explain. It's the most active powers have been America and Britain. Mm-hmm. They have been the ones who've spoken most loudly. If you look at news from Moscow, it is the idea that Russia is now being attacked by the unholy alliance of London and Washington. We really are. We don't think of it. We feel cosy. You know, it's a lovely spring day. All of this seems a very, very long way away. It's not. The missiles are close. They are terrible. There's been a huge amount of loose talk, you know, dragging Putin before some sort of world tribunal, a new Nuremberg. The only reason that Hitler was dragged before Nuremberg, and he wasn't, the only reason why it was hoped to, was that there was a policy of absolute German unconditional surrender. You were fighting total war. We're playing very dangerous games, and I think really Lavrov is rather sensible to point the fact out.